But you know what I have seen is the name of our next guest, and that is Milkweed. Welcome, Milkweed. Come on in.
Hi. Oh, who could it be? Hi, guys.
Hello.
Just a fairy door.
Oh my.
It wasn't real.
It felt very real. Like we were entering an enchanted land, and it looks like we have entered an enchanted land. How are you, Milkweed?
I'm doing so good. This is my fairy garden. Few humans have been here, so welcome.
Wow, I'm honored.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I feel so serene. I feel like there's a good energy emanating off you, Milkweed.
Good, because you don't want the bad energy.
No,
So,
no. Tom and I have had our share of...
know about fairies.
What do I know? Well, I know that they're particularly good magic. The dark side of a fairy is more known usually as an imp or a gremlin. Fairies tend to be helpful. The mischievous ones are the ones with the dark sorcery in them. And try and stay on their good side.
I know that fairies in adult versions of the movies will eat babies or some kind of human.
Well, I will say you're both right and you're both very wrong. But I have researched fairies my whole life, and they're really cool, and I love them so much. Like, fairies can be mischievous, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad at eating their babies. Like, some of them, yeah, but you know, they're kind of like Jackass. You know, they do silly little pranks, but they're just tiny little ladies.
They're like Johnny Knoxville and his crew.
Exactly.
Like the ultimate wee man, but they're wee ladies.
Yeah, like a wee lady.
Is there a Bam Margera of the fairy world?
Well, I haven't personally met anything like that, but I believe 100% yes.
I agree with that. I do believe 100% there is a Bam Margera of the fairy world.
There's gotta be, for sure.
God, it seems like you have quite a bit of fancy and joy in your life. What is it that you're looking to add to this enchanted wonderland that we can help you with?
I am looking for some money. So
Ooh.
I know it looks like I'm pretty well-to-do here in this magical garden, but Mama could use some cash, and that's why I came to you guys.
All right.
I've never
Perfect.
been on eBay. I've done a lot of buying on Etsy, but
Same amount
Etsy's
of letters, but not nearly as cool or as good as eBay.
Yeah, Etsy's a fool's game.
well, call me a fool, but today I want to try to get the most for my, you know,
Oh my gosh.
this is a valuable trinket, and I think I could get more on eBay with your guys' help, of course.
Was that item destroyed in World War II? Were the arms...
Oh, the arms. You know, we don't like to talk about it like destroyed
Okay.
or damaged. It's more of she's handy capable.
Okay.
All right.
She's you know, in between us, a climbing accident.
Okay. It's a sore subject.
Oh,
we
yeah.
won't probe. Don't worry.
107 hours style. I get you.
Yeah, well, she didn't saw him off, but
So it looks like there's a lot now. Is that a traditional blue fairy that you have there? Because there seems to be a lot of blue fairy interest on eBay.
well, if that's the case, then yes. If that's what is popular, that is what it is. You know, reality is really what you make it. And if that is top seller, then yeah.
You know, that's a great life motto. Reality is what you make of it. I think more people can stand to employ that as a philosophy, a day-to-day philosophy.
It's true. Some people don't believe in fairies, believe it or not. But I think John Legend said it, you know, imagine.
John Legend comes up with such great music and lyrics, especially Imagine. That's the one I always think of when I think of his original contributions to art.
just a legend. And yeah, he believed in fairies and legends. Maybe that's how his last name. I don't know. Some of the songs were written by Paul McCartney, I think.
Yes. Until Chrissy Teigen broke up the band.
Oh, did they break up?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, John and Chrissy are still together.
Oh, they're
the
still
rest
together.
Of the band did.
Oh my. Well.
Let me explain something that I mentioned earlier about World War II. A lot of art pieces from the Etruscan and Greek and Roman periods, they lost limbs and they have cracks in them because of a battle that occurred to them. Incidental damage, collateral damage, whatever kind of damage you want to classify it as. Obviously, we don't have to probe and get into the nitty-gritty of the damage that your blue fairy suffered, but I do think this is an opportunity to own that story and empower that fairy with the hopes of raising that market value.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think that if you're selling the message of empowerment, then that is really going to sell very, very well, especially with the blue fairy. The blue fairy imagery is so popular on eBay. Everybody wants to get involved, whether it's a fairy that's blue just out of the nowhere or a fairy that's blue associated with Pinocchio. So I think, you could probably do some sort of a combo of all of these things about memorabilia and about fairies and about blue fairies and about empowerment and about handy capability and about trusting yourself. And there you got a spit shine top of the line eBay sale pitch right there.
That's amazing, and it sounds like all that, but also it's kind of crucial that she was involved in a fight in World War II.
Just stick with World War II. A lot of people know that reference. I would just don't try to reinvent the wheel. It was a World War II. Speaking of words, I have a question for you, Milkweed. Did you see the movie Midsommar?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately.
What's your take on that film?
Bad trip.
Bad trip.
Bad trip.
Enough said. Bad trip.
I like the flowers.
Yeah, it was a beautiful movie, right? Visually beautiful, content-wise despicable, and I wish I'd never seen it.
I don't know if you guys could tell, but I've done a lot of drugs. A lot of acid and DMT and ayahuasca, and that film was just not a place I would want to go.
Milkweed, before we send you off back into the wilderness there, I got one final question that could help your eBay selling profiteering. After all of your drug-related experiences, have you come away speaking with any entities that might have been around at the time that you had this fairy in your possession, like a god or some sort of even a demon would work?
I've talked to fairy gods, fairy demons. They were kind of like, like, whoa.
Oh no. Look at that.
So, like, just a kaleidoscope. But, I mean, that was a pretty good representation of what it was like. And they told me that this fairy fought in World War II and is handy capable and body positive and has a lot of value.
Wow. Mention that in your listing. I'm looking at a lot of stuff that I even just searched God, and there's God energy, and there's a lot of stuff that has God energy infused in it selling on eBay. Now, most of it is related to male enhancement, but I think you could find a way to get get that God energy, even some of that demon energy, and you put it in the item and sell that off, and probably find a more niche market.
I love it, and I love that you're searching for God. I hope you guys keep searching, and thank you so much for all your help. I can't wait to get a lot of money from this. You will. Thank you for leading us through your door into your enchanted world, Milkweed. Yes. Bye-bye now.
It's a real pleasure. Bye-bye,
there
Milkweed.
We go. Come back soon, you hear?
She was real sweet. I didn't know all that stuff about fairies. I thought there was a different classification between the two kinds, and I thought I was plumb wrong.
I'm good. It's good to know that they're, for the most part, good people. Fairies.
Good beings.
Mm,
They're not people. They live on a higher plane than us.
that's true.
Always got to remember that.